You will hear about the African Union. Yes, it exists. But what is the effect of the African Union?
Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, is a man that has currently become the darling of the African continent and the world at large. But he has as many enemies as he has friends. Currently, it was rumored that the Burkina Faso army combated an assassination attempt against Captain Ibrahim Traore. When we speak about Captain Ibrahim Traore, we speak of the rebel of people like Akina Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Nelson Mandela of South Africa, Patricia Lumumba of Congo. We speak of people like Thomas Sankara. Now, Ibrahim Traore has survived as over 20 assassination attempts since he ascended to power through a coup d'etat. But currently, a lot of drastic measures have been taken by the Burkina Faso government to protect Ibrahim Traore's life at all cost. He is being protected for he is the national treasure of the Republic of Burkina Faso because Captain Ibrahim Traore has turned around the economy of Burkina Faso since he ascended to office. Now, as we speak, the intel that we are receiving is that the people of Burkina Faso have taken drastic measures to protect their president. And among one thing that they have done to make sure that nobody succeeds in taking over the life of Captain Ibrahim Traore is that they have decided that they, the civilians of Burkina Faso, are currently sleeping at every roundabout at night just to protect their president. Will you ever do that for your president? That is the question that we are asking. One African vlogger and traveler, Wodemaya, the YouTuber, traveled to Burkina Faso the other day, and he surprised the world with what he got from there. I mean, a lot of roads and a lot of constructions are being done. A lot of people are currently living their African dream through the life and through the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore. But one thing that shocked many is that these people take it very seriously to protect their president. Currently, in every city in Burkina Faso and every village, they have deployed a technique. It is like when we were in guerrilla war tactics that were used by Africans to fight the white settlers while we were kicking them out of our continent and out of our countries, where they have like a duty roster that these people will protect, will not sleep today. They will keep an eye on these certain entry points that the enemy might use to access our president. And the next day, another group takes over. Now, they rotate in that manner. And after this information was revealed by Wodebaya, he said this. In Burkina Faso, civilians sleep at every roundabout at night just to protect their president. Will you ever do that for your president? Now, when we look at our president here in Kenya, what can you do for your president? I want to read a few comments in regards to this. One Miraki, now before even reading the said comments, I want us to review the assassination attempt on Captain Ibrahim Traore's life. Now the Burkina Faso's military on 22nd of April went ahead to say that they foiled a major plot to overthrow junta leader Captain Ibrahim Traore with the army alleging the plotters were based in neighboring country Ivory Coast. Now, Security Minister Mahmoud Sana said the coup attempt was led by current and former soldiers working with terror leaders. The intention was to attack the presidential palace last week. Now, the aim of the plan was to sow total chaos and place the country under the supervision of an international organization, Sana said on state television on Monday. It is the latest of several claims of attempts to remove the junta leader who seized power in 2022 amid increasing militant attacks. Burkina Faso, like its Sahel neighbors, has been battling armed jihadist groups with an estimated 40% of the country under their control. Despite promises by Captain Traore's military government to improve security and even seeking new security partnership with Russia, the situation remains dire with frequent attacks from insurgents. In this latest coup attempt, which happened last week, but details of which have only just been released, Sana said the plotters attempted to use Burkinabo religious and traditional leaders to sway army officers into backing the plan. The maneuver was to culminate, according to the terrorist plotters' plan, on Wednesday, 16 April 2025, in an assault on the presidency of Burkina Faso to a group of soldiers recruited by the nation's enemies, he said. The brains outside the country are all located in Ivory Coast, he added, naming in particular two former army officers believed to be behind the plot. He said sensitive information was passed to terrorists to increase attacks on the military and civilians and incite a revolt against the authorities. Now, last week, several military personnel, including two officers, were released for planning to destabilize the government, security sources told the AFP news agency. The Ivorian authorities have not yet commented on claims it hosted the plotters, but the Burkinabé junta has often blamed its southern neighbor of supporting its opponents in exile. Now, the latest claim comes months after Ouagadougou said it thwarted another destabilization plot against the junta last November. Burkina Faso, along with two other military-led states, Mali and Niger, has broken away from the regional West African bloc, ECOWAS, to form a new alliance. They have cut ties with former colonial powers France and allied with Russia instead. Let's go back to the relationship currently being maintained between Burkina Faso and Russia. As we speak today, intel that we have received is that the Burkina Faso has awarded gold mine permit to Russia's North Gold. We know that Burkina Faso is one of the largest exporters of gold in Africa. And that is why countries like the United States of America and the Republic of France, they lost a lot when Captain Ibrahim Traore took over power and cut off ties with those colonial powers. Now, as we speak, they have decided to join hands with Russia, knowing that Russia is an enemy of the European nation and also the European nations, and also uh, it is an enemy of the United States of America. So currently, Russia is supposed now to deploy military personnel to guard the president of Burkina Faso. We know Russia and the United States have always been fighting for domination in Africa. And now, Russia seems to be getting ahead of the United States and France in matters of Burkina Faso. Now, for protection purposes, they head now to join hands with Russia. And it seems that this is going to work out for Captain Ibrahim Traore and also the people of Burkina Faso, because Man, if we are to speak about what is happening in Burkina Faso, comparing to other African countries that are led by democracy through their leaders elected to power, you will come to agree with me that every country in Africa currently needs an Ibrahim Traore leadership. Now, apart from that, we shall go back to looking at how the people of Burkina Faso are guarding their president and what other people have to say. Now, Miraki Bergkamp says liberation is everybody's business, but it starts with a genuine leader. The current president of Burkina Faso has taken the lead with honesty and firm commitment. His people are led by bold actions, unlike other countries with seasoned criminals at the helm of power reading from scripts and speaking nonsense called grammar. Jostanema says it's 100% justified. The whole Africa should rise up to protect Traore. Shouldn't be left to Burkina Faso's only. Traore is making Africa more prouder. Kakari Paul says when the system is working, why not? They see hope, and hope is what would move one to sacrifice. Kenneth Sefatila says that man is diamond. No other president in Africa is nearer to what he is. His life is precious to them, not those who increase their salaries and allowances when the citizens are in deep poverty. Nuru Ibrahim says, I can't do that for my country, Nigeria, but I can travel all the way to Burkina Faso to defend and fight for Traore, the hero of Africa. Hmm? That is what people are saying. I mean, there is no any negative comments from Africans on matters the life of Captain Ibrahim Traore. We say, long live Captain Ibrahim Traore. And if all other African leaders would emulate the ways of Captain Ibrahim Traore, then this continent would be at a very good state. For now, this was Sapper. Remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.